Hey everybody, I'm Fred Bush and I want to give a very brief tutorial on the practice of forearm stand at home. I'm making this video for Jimena in our teacher training program that we're running right now online. And she asked me if I could do some demonstrations on exactly what I'm kind of looking for on that approach to the mastery of forearm stand. So I thought I'd do this little tutorial for everybody and see if maybe it's helpful, okay? All right, so check it out. Of course, you know that in our style of yoga, we teach forearm stand with this particular arm orientation. Of course, it's common to do it this way. I don't really like it because this teaches to that and that changes to that. But I do like this because it allows the shoulders to stay away from the ears and it helps kind of the elbows to stay under the shoulders, and I kind of think that that's the best idea. So what you do is you interlace your fingers, you bring your bottom finger in, you cross your, interlace all the fingers except not your thumbs, and they stay parallel, all right? So that's kind of the beginning, and so when I come to the ground, you'll see that that's how I'm going to orientate my arms. Now, of course, if you're practicing this at home, you absolutely have to have a wall. Do not ever do this without a wall. This is not a safe thing to do when you're trying to do it without a wall, period. There's really no conversation about that. There's a lot of ways you can get injured if you don't have a wall there to stop your momentum in the first years really of your practice, depending on how strong you are. Okay, so check it out. Look. Forearm stand, while it may seem like it's an arm pose, and it may seem, let me just show you what it is for those who've never seen it before. You're getting your fingers interlaced and your head is looking towards the wall in front of you, and then you just jump up. And this is forearm stand right here, okay? So let's look at that, and then I'll tell you how to approach it. Well, first of all, understand that as I was suggesting, it's not really an arm strength pose. It might seem like it's an arm strength pose because I'm on my arms and I'm upside down and wow, that looks so difficult. But it's not really an arm pose. It's actually a pose that involves strength that is much deeper than that. It's called iliopsoas. It's a muscle that is along the legs, connecting the legs to the hips, the spine. And that muscle is best strengthened with 2 blocks and lifting off the ground like this. So anybody who really ever wants to learn forearm stand wants to start to master that. All right, well, let's look at the approach, okay? And how to jump up to the wall. Because what I want you to understand is that the kind of the strongest way and the best way is to jump up with your legs straight. And also never to bend your legs. Okay? That's kind of what I want to coach you guys. So once you kind of get into the position and you're here in this dog, you can take one leg off the ground, you can stay there. You take the other leg off the ground, you can stay there. That's fine too. But if you want to jump, best to jump with your legs straight. Okay? So here you are, legs straight, and just keep the legs. See how my legs are always straight, they don't bend. The legs stay straight, and then they stay together. Okay? So that's the idea. Because if you keep your legs straight, you're really working with psoas, which is the real power muscle that you need to work with. Whereas if you bend your knees, it starts to kind of disintegrate the leg structure from the hip structure and the spine. Then you're a bunch of loose joints instead of one stable structure, which is what you need to be. Now, if you're kind of at that point where you're kind of getting it, you're touching the wall, you're kind of like doing this whole thing, right? You're always coming up and you're touching the wall and you want to come off the wall, but then every time you come off the wall, you fall. Common, right? All right, so for that, here's what you got to do. You're going to play a game, okay? It's a game I teach everyone in my teacher training who's at this kind of point in their practice. And the game is to jump up as hard as you can, kind of like to jump up as fast as you can, but don't touch the wall. I kind of say like, don't touch the wall no matter what, So it's kind of like this. So I'm going to jump up, but then as I jump, I'm going to force myself back down. I'm going to jump up, I'm going to force myself back down, which means I'm not going to allow myself to touch the wall. Now, once I can do that and I can stop my momentum, then it's just a matter of a little bit of, a little practice, because you stop your momentum and all of a sudden, wait a minute, I don't have to go down. I can stay here. Okay? So that's kind of the way to approach it. Of course, if you really want to learn it, get onto those blocks, get that lifted boat going, get strong where you really have to get strong. Of course, you have to be able to do some push-ups too. Obviously, arm strength is involved, but it's just not the primary strength that is involved. It's really psoas. Okay, I hope that's helpful. And of course, if you have any questions about this or handstands or any other kind of difficult arm balancing poses, of course, just send me a message or let me know. And if you want to study deeper the philosophy or any of the other parts of yoga. Of course, that's what we're doing with our teacher training. Okay, hope to see you soon.